Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Maddie.
Hello, and Steve. And here we are back again for our third time.
We have a special guest, very special guest to introduce. Layla is graced us with her presence.
Yeah. So when do you want to do that? Right now? Any extra information? Layla is not in New York. Layla is out in Texas. I don't think we mentioned that part. I cut that part away.
Right.
A little bit, yeah. Alvin. She's in Alvin. Christmas time is here.
Yeah.
um, I looked up Alvin just to sort of get the picture. See, I thought she was way out in the country somewhere, like in the back 40 of, out yonder.
Right.
Turns out Alvin is like in this edge of the sprawl of Houston, south of Houston. And then I guess there's Houston, and then Houston goes into Galveston. So
right, but she still has to drive for an hour to get to the airport. So, I mean,
yeah, well, that would probably be into Houston, I guess, from Alvin. So it's an hour. That's suburban life. An hour. Yeah.
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 It's getting to the airport
You
for
go to
all.
Long Island. Long Island, come into New York for something. Takes a while. Let me tell you about it. No, not tonight. Not today. Yeah, I just got in. You know, bohemian life in New York. When you get on, I mean, it was at the after hours place. And
I believe you.
And it was time to come on. So here we are. So we should run Layla?
Yes, and I also wanted to mention that we will be having other guests. So if anybody out there wants to sort of tell some of their stories, we'd probably love to have you on.
Yeah, I mean, it's conceivable that if we build this thing a little bit, we could even have fans, random people call in from out there in the world, the whole wide world, which brings up Fran Powers, which is part of the little presentation here. So should we go?
Let's run it.
Alrighty.
Suki. Hi, Steve. Nice to see you. Long time no see.
Nice. Yes. We have Layla Haddad with us now, a very original critical member of Jolly Ramey from back in the 1980s.
The young, gifted, and broke days.
Do you know what year you entered Jolly Ramey?
What was it, 86? 87?
Well, 86. Yeah, well, now we went to Spain in 85.
That makes just when you came back.
About a year, and we were back in 86. So, yeah, we were fresh off the boat when you appeared.
I met Maddie at a party in Hoboken, and she gave me your tape, and I fell in love with you. And I had never played the bass before, and I got my friend to teach me how to play the bass because she said you needed a bass player just to join the band.
Wow.
Yeah. Awesome.
So are you still playing?
I was in love with that cassette. I was so in love with those songs.
So you still playing?
Oh God, no.
My
life. No, I went on to, cooking, and then I tried here and there to get back to bass playing, but it was so hard. And then during COVID, I picked up the bass again, and I realized how terrible I was. I just forgot everything. So, but
Well, these things can come back rather quickly if you really.
That is true.
Like I didn't play guitar for a long time, and then I started playing guitar, and this is sort of better. I'm sort of good in this kind of way, in my quirky little weird way. So, who was the Communist? Did we first appear on a show called The Communist?
don't remember. Was it Chris?
DJ called the
Jackie?
Communist?
Was it Chris T? I don't know.
No, it wasn't Christie.
No, I don't know. Oh, Dan Berman.
Dan Berman.
He did a world music show.
I don't remember what the context was. All I have is a memory of the first time we were on FMU to be on with the Communist. I believe that's my memory. So
I'm thinking it might have been Dan Berman. He was from Canada. Well, he French Algerian, but he lived in Canada. He was on Radio Free Canada for a while, and he was at FMU for a stint. I think it was Dan.
Huh.
I'm not sure though.
Weird.
So, Layla, I know you have, we all have our history with FMU. Are there any stories that you would like to, I don't know, because, people don't often get the chance to hang out with me, Steve, or Layla. Like, this is their chance to kind of hear some of our stories, you know what I mean? So if there's anything you think is,
Well, there's a million things.
ah,
You know what I mean? Like the fact that I pulled in David, who was a guitar player, really gifted guitar player, and I had no idea because we needed a drummer ASAP, and he was playing on phone books, like and buckets, and he was coming to gigs and playing with us, and I had no idea he was like this incredible guitarist. He was just playing drums for us, and that was one of the things. Like, oh my god, gosh, there's a million of them. I think that we were part of a whole lo-fi New York underground thing that was going on. There was like my friend Paris wrote this amazing book. It's called Drink No Water. I can't recommend it higher. He was part of the messy art performance side of it, which was kind of come on, ABC No Rio and all those, crappy bars that were underground that people just went to like see a show. And we were part of that kind of scene that just doesn't exist anymore. Like you could be broke in New York, you could be in a band and be an artist and somehow manage to survive. And it's such a golden time, and to have been playing these shows, these really crappy shows, and having like the best time. I feel part of history that so many people have no idea was out there.
Yeah.
well, it's also a function of youth that to some extent younger people have some support from their parents. Um,
Yeah, but
I mean,
you were living on your
absolutely,
own,
there were people that were dead broke children who still managed to be in bands and
Right.
make it to shows. Um, but luckily, I do see signs of youngsters who know what they grew up valuing education, valuing culture, and like of all the kids today, if they're 24, I'll ask them, "Do you know who Ella Fitzgerald is?" Or
We
just
glitched.
the musicians seem to actually value the past.
If we, Jolly Ramey, what would we have been a big part of the social media scene? Would we have been? Because remember my friend Fran, his Penny for the Guy records, and he did that
Of course.
recording of Trouble for us, and that
Yes,
in
we
his
were going to play
studio.
that video.
Yeah,
Okay, so and like I wonder if we would have been huge stars on Facebook or
I think if there was social media, then it would have been. I could have worked better with it than as it happened, because I'm kind of shy. I didn't even talk to a lot of this. I was friends with Folger. Everybody else, and they probably just thought I was crazy or arrogant or something. But I was like, I don't know what to do with these people.
honestly, no. I think low self-esteem on all on my part and your part, Steve. Layla, you're not as guilty, but low self-esteem and not just believing in our dreams is part of why it ultimately kept falling apart, and then we kept pulling it back together. But there's also historically times when bands were getting signed, and when
Right.
we were most active was before, well, after the Talking Heads and before Nirvana. We were
But
smack in the middle of a drought.
no, it wasn't a drought. It was all the independent labels sprung up. My label, Poteet. It was all the indies that sprung up, but the indies couldn't offer you any money. The only thing the indies could do is put you out there so the bigger labels could scoop you up. That's all that the indies could do, but it was a glorious time.
There was an
anybody
out there
could
place
start
to
a
be.
label. What?
There was an out there place to be. There were places
Yeah.
to play and stuff, and it was sort of doable.
Right. And anybody could have pressed a record. Anybody. And now, it's true that anybody can be a star in social media, but you have to have skills. You have to have technical skills to really do anything or go anywhere. And we
Well,
didn't.
Steve's getting
We didn't
them.
have to. There
Well,
it went.
That's trouble starting. So you should we watch it now?
Sure. Let's watch Trouble.
Yeah, and then we'll discuss. Yeah.
Okay.
I think,
we
well,
go.
Trouble. Okay, yeah.
Oh, we could
This
talk
was-
about Trouble before we play Trouble, too. And then we could talk
Well,
about it.
Trouble was,
Well, this brings Fran back.
yeah, this brings Fran back.
Fran produced this recording, basically.
Right. And he really believed in us. And that was,
Yeah.
and he was a musician and friend of mine that I totally respected. Like, he was like my first friend in New York when I was a teenager. I was.
Well, I know
20.
you were close to them. Both
cut
gone now,
school.
right?
Both are gone now. Yeah.
Incredible.
The only surviving member is Buzz Jackson. Yeah, I was cutting school. I was on the bus. I met one of the members of their band. He introduced me to Fran at he worked at Trash in Vaudeville, and then Fran was like, "Oh, come back to my apartment, meet my wife." And then I hung out with them, and then that was the beginning of just a wonderful friendship. I was the head of their fan club, and it was a great place. to be.
With true friends, it's like your friends just like immediately. It doesn't even take more than a hello. And that's my experience with lifelong friends. It's funny how fast a friendship can happen.
Well,
It's-
Fran was just a real gregarious guy. He just,
yeah.
he wanted to tell you about himself, and I was all ears. I was this teenager, like, wow, here's this super cool band guy in New York, and I'm going back to his apartment in the Lower East Side. Oh my God, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, I couldn't believe it. I struck gold, and then he became a fan of mine. With my bass playing, which was really something.
Yeah.
Bring it back to the Showman, like, where was our place? You know what I mean? What was our dream? We just wanted to make music.
Our place was the Penn Place restaurant. Remember those shows?
Penn Place
Oh
Plaza.
my God, the Penn Place Pub. I do
Yeah.
remember. I do. It was a lot better than ABC No Rio, where the radiator exploded on us during the middle of the show, and there was
That I
water
don't
spraying
remember.
everybody in the audience. You don't remember that?
No.
That was fun.
We can talk about it later. And Steve, you can edit some of this stuff out where I'm looking like I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's the charm of the piece.
I just lose my patience. When I get mad, get really sore. One thing goes wrong, turns into a few. Trouble starts to brew. Trouble starts to brew. Trouble. I'm holding a grudge. I'm so ticked off. Get kinda angry, get kinda pissed. Something that I miss. Trouble, something that I miss. Trouble. I wanna break this damn guitar, get full of mad, and I start to stew. Trouble starts to brew.
happy piece.
Must have been work lying on that pavement. Oh my God.
You know, an actor has to do what an actor has to do.
I think his name was Genji.
Yeah, Genji or something like that. Yeah.
Wonder
The
if
Japanese man.
Yeah, I wonder if
Yeah, he appeared in the video, but he's not playing the recording.
Yeah.
he played on something though.
Yeah, he played on a recording we did out in Williamsburg with these brothers that had a studio.
And no,
And the song we recorded
brothers. Yes.
was let's see, whatever.
So Layla, I love that's like my favorite color you're wearing. You look gorgeous, by the way. My shirt is all in the family. And plaid is big. Plaid is big this year.
Okay. I'll admit. Plaid's kind of big. I like where I live. Most of my people that I deal with are ranchers and farmers. So
They have
ranchers,
never.
plaid. You know, that's kind of how
It was
people
never out. Yeah.
So
No,
how do you
I
like
think
the folks there? You have
mostly
friends?
like them. I very much like it here.
Good.
I have to say that the radio here, the college radio, is very good.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good.
The alt
Well, that's when
folk country scene is really good. There's a lot of really good stuff. Like, but we have it's all over the map because Houston area is as diverse as New York ethnically. You know, so there's all kinds of things going on. Just not in my little bumfuck town.
Speaking of radio and the old days, and you know, people, you know, if there's younger people watching us, radio was really, really important. I mean, you know, it's like before all this internet stuff, it's like, you know, you knew which radio stations in your, you know, that you could reach.
Right.
On your receiver were going to be your radio stations. And then, you know, in our case with you and WFMU, that also had a real community around it for a while, or a feeling of community, or these shows we did and all that stuff. So, you know, it was a real, you know, it was closer to just folks, organic people things, instead of, you know, the technology didn't supersede everything else, you know, which is
Layla, thank you for taking me to those parties. Oh, excellent.
I remember when we got to see the Buzzcocks. Oh my God. When they played at the studio and it was on my show. What am I saying? It was my freaking show. Yeah, I miss the community a lot. I do. You know, you have this global community of internet, but it's still quite lonely. It is interesting.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's also a youth thing, you know?
I don't think
people
so.
are different in their 20s.
No,
Think the internet stream is a youth thing at all. Look at yourself. I absolutely don't think it's a youth thing.
It's
no, I mean, I no, people are more outgoing and with other people, I think, out in the world when they're younger, because then other people have children, all this other stuff.
True.
Of our generation, yes, but not anymore. The youth today are absolutely solitary and closed in. They got.
No, I know. That's what I'm talking about back then.
At all.
Yeah.
I work with young people. I see it. They don't.
I think they're terrified. I think they're really scared.
Well, I think we should do one more Jolly Ramey song before we wrap.
What should we play?
Well, there's a video for, there's Santa Bunny, there's Happiest Guy. Is there a video for Money Talks? There is, right?
Maybe he played on Santa Bunny.
It's not a video, but I would love to play Money Talks.
I think the Japanese guy played on Santa Bunny.
Oh, okay.
Because that has pretty good drumming.
Let's play
Money Talks is great, even though it doesn't have an actual video. It is on YouTube. And it is Fran's production.
Oh, he
So,
did Money Talks. Is that right? Because it was on Penny for the Guy,
or
right?
maybe,
It was on
no,
that-
not his production, but it was on Penny for the Guy, so it does include Fran.
Yeah.
What do you think, Steve?
What are we doing? Money Talks?
Yeah,
Okay, let me try to
maybe
find
one
it.
day we'll make a video about it. But yeah, it just has the Jolly Randy logo. It's still one of my favorite recordings we ever did.
Video file. Money Talks.
Bathroom break. I'll be right back.
You see this, Layla?
Yeah.
If you get close to the big machinery, can't expect to be walking in greenery. If you get close to the big machine, sparks are flying, but it's cold and clean. When money talks, you better run. You get rich, you better buy a gun. If you get close to the big machinery, you can't expect to be walking in greenery. It can't forgive and it can't forget. Big machine needs your blood and sweat. When money talks, you better run. You get rich, you better buy a gun. If you get close to the big machine, sparks are flying, but it's cold and mean. To run you ragged, run you down, make a fool of another crowd. When money talks, you better run. When you get rich, you better buy a gun. You get rich, you better buy a
Yahoo! Very nice. I like it.
I just love my guitar work on
I
that.
do too. I
It
absolutely.
sounds like there's about 18 guitars on that.
No, it's pretty incredible. Yeah, that was great.
So, do at this point we still think when money talks you better run, or maybe you should run after it?
Oh no.
No, when you get rich, you better buy yourself a gun. Is kind of the most relevant saying that's out there.
Yeah, and it illustrates how people change.
Yeah, for sure.
People change. Money distorts people.
Yeah, and the people around you.
Yeah, on
If
both
they
ends.
think you have
You
money,
got it, don't have it. You know.
they're gonna grab it from you. And the minute you got it, they're after you. And if they perceive you as having money, everybody's got their hand out, and they're gonna shake you.
Well,
And
fortunately, it's getting a whole lot worse. So
oh yeah,
you have something to look forward to.
I just walk around like this.
yeah.
Oh,
Into my
telling you.
with
pockets.
your poor arm, you need a handout. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, kids,
Excellent. Layla, it's so good to see you, gorgeous.
Glad I could participate.
I really appreciate you coming with us on this.
Thank you for
Layla,
inviting me.
and for being back there and back in the day. And
Day when things were relevant.
yeah, it was
Things were actually authentic.
you
Really
really added something amazing. I think if it wasn't for you, we might not have ever been really as part of that lo-fi scene. I think you really helped.
I think it helped with the FMU, like
Absolutely,
that was the
absolutely,
binding agent. That definitely helped us for sure.
absolutely. So I
Okay.
always felt that way, and
And just I knew some people that
yeah.
Yeah,
could.
but I think I just asked you if you wanted to be in my band. I think I didn't even realize.
No, Maddie, I asked you if I could be in your band. I
A
was
volunteer.
absolutely enamored of those songs so completely. I was
Maddie's
like,
songs
I
are
gotta be
special.
in this band. I gotta be in. They still are. I still sing them in my head.
Yeah, me too.
All right, let me go. Let me let you go. I got things to do.
Bye bye, Layla.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, hello.
We're back.
We're back. So that went all right, I guess.
It's just so good to talk to Layla always.
Indeed.
I would like to. We're not sure what next Sunday is going to bring, but there's three
In time of
songs.
war, who knows,
This is true. But there's Dave, who Dave Rubens, who Layla mentioned,
hmm
Jonathan Delgado. I'm
Who's
blanking.
on the West Coast. So
Right.
he might be another record. He's even further.
And
He's
Pierre
3 hours different.
Schrady.
Yeah. Now he would be he might be in nighttime.
Yeah, so I
That
would
might
say
work out good. He might be able to do live. We'll see.
if if
He
during
might have union restrictions though. I don't know. He's Pierre is a Pierre Schrady, who was our drummer for a spell, the sort of final band era drummer, was really good, and he was part German, and he ended up just going back to Germany and becoming a pretty successful actor with his American wife, and has a couple of children there. I think they're growing and prospering out there in Deutschland. So
well,
we'll have to see if we can invite Pierre and get him on. We have
and
a Facebook connection.
we should also save Fugitive for if we could get both Mary and Pierre on together. Wouldn't that be cute?
Um,
She wasn't in
yeah,
the band, but she starred in the movie.
that's right,
Um,
Mary. I had forgotten her name for a moment, and I'm glad you clued it in.
Yeah, Mary is a pretty basic name. I like it.
Plain as any name can be.
So watch this spot, and if you're a friend and family fan of Jolly Ramey, come on the show. We're just getting rolling here
Come on down.
to the new Jolly Ramey show.
Yeah.
Next week, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. That would be really handy, and leave comments of whatever sort. WTH will what no W. How do you do that? WT F WT. Yeah, anything, any comment will do.
Another show I want to do
What?
would be Aaron and possibly Skinny Vinny.
Mm-hmm. Where is Skinny Vinny? Do you know? Wasn't he in France for a while?
Yes, he is in France.
Uh-huh.
So we'll see what we can do. Maybe they can be. Anyway, there's a lot of work that revolves around Erin, and so she's a must. But I would love for Vinny to come on and talk about RuPaul. Maybe we can get a little clip of the entire Valentine's Day, like snippets of each, or that was a great video compilation.
I don't think I have a copy of the entire thing myself.
So we will look into that, and we'll look into all these different possibilities. And we've got Fly Ashtray possibly going to make some showing ups too.
Oh my God! It's a world of possibility. I'm floating.
It's a world
in a
of
world of possibility, and you are all coming with me into a world of possibility
and wishful thinking.
Well, I wasn't going to take it that far.
Well, I mean, not all my plans have come to fruition.
Not all possibilities are positive either.
Do you mean we could get some kind of weird?
They're imposing, and I wear it with my WFMU shirt. I think this is last year's or something, or some other year. But since we were talking about WFMU earlier in recording,
I think it's going to be kind of a running theme because that was our radio station.
That's right. So yeah, it'll come up sometime. Yeah, I put in the chat, but I should say that the Trouble video was shot by our good friend Tom Becker.
Yeah, may he rest.
For his public access show, a long-running public access show, Young, Gifted, and Broke. So that's important. And actually, that was, I think, our very first video. As I recollect, at least a produced video like that, yeah.
I always get sad when I think of these dear people that they can't be in our reunion. Like Jim Moffitt, one of our finest drummers. He was a drummer for us back in college, and you and I weren't playing together yet. I hadn't even met you yet.
Yeah. No, there are some people that were involved with us and in critical positions that are passed on. This is the life cycle, as we were just talking about Fran Powers, who died in 2021. Bill Berger.
So many young ones.
Yeah. Well, so
at least they still
that's life.
In my mind, they're still young and pretty. So there's that. Anyway, sorry to get
Live
a little
fast, die young, and leave a lovely corpse.
Well,
really,
you gotta hurry up
policy.
While you're still young, Stevie. No, I'm kidding. Don't die on me.
Well, you're still young. Well, we
it's all inevitable. It's fine.
It's a floating plastic inevitable. That's what we live in. It's a simulation. It's all made out of plastic. I watched this thing. Remember that guy, the rich guy that had the submarine that went with 5 people, and they go down and look at the Titanic, except they exploded. I watched this Netflix documentary about it was made out of carbon fiber.
Oh God!
Yeah, so they're getting this carbon fiber thing, and they're all like, and they're way down in the ocean, and it for a protective thing, it has sensors like microphones all over the surface of the carbon fiber, and so they can detect when, because it's inevitable, the carbon fibers go pop.
Oh.
And then they pop, and then it's going to explode. And it was like, these people are nuts going in this thing.
What a way to go, huh?
Yeah. So anyway, sorry to diverge into the ocean.
We're not editing this part because we are live, but we might think about leaving you with one last song. What do you think, Stevie?
Well, I don't know. I don't have one on deck.
Well,
I think what we've done 2. There's Schmoopy.
Do you want to play the Young, Gifted, and Broke theme? Because then that would kind of.
Well, let me
'cause I don't.
look
It's
about
very.
for.
It's
Hmm?
very short. It's a very short little piece.
Yeah, okay. Let me gather it up. I have to go find it.
You know,
So
we already said.
you have to carry the chatter and everything while I'm like doing this.
Pressure.
Yeah. So okay.
Stevie, I hear the ants come out of the hills.
The ants come out and something comes out of the dryer. What comes out of the
Socks
dryer?
come out of the dryer.
Socks come out of the dry. Yeah. And the wood
Poop
come
comes
out of
out
the peckers. Let's see.
And the wood
Okay.
and the peckers are one. Unite, woodpeckers.
Gift, there it is. Okay. Now, see, there probably is a way that I'm new at this StreamYard thing.
Yeah, and I just threw that at you. It was very inconsiderate.
And there probably is a way that I can just
oh yeah, I'm keeping up the patter. I forgot about that.
yeah. There's a way that I can.
Well, like we said, join us next Sunday, and we don't know who our guests are going to be. I said like and subscribe because everybody says that.
Wait a minute. No, I can't turn it off. Okay. Well,
why don't we save it for next week?
Let's save it for next week. I'm for that. Yeah, I mean, look, wait a minute. I know how to do this. Hold on.
I see how
go to my channel. Wait a minute.
So good.
Go to my channel, manage videos. Okay.
Thank you, Stevie. He's the best.
Manage videos.
He's the best.
Yeah, now I gotta find it again.
We would have no record of Jolly Raymond whatsoever. We'd have a couple of cassettes maybe, if it weren't for this guy right here.
What guy? Who's here?
I met you.
Someone here?
You had a Super 8 movie camera when I first met you.
I know. And then I never shot any after that, and it was such a.
And that footage.
I thought you were going to be a movie guy, and then you didn't shoot anything. What's up with you?
We made. I was going to be a painter, but then I didn't want to be eating Triscuits all my life. Disgusting. I wanted to be more social, and then it was my way of socializing was to get you guys, and that was my way of relating to the outside world because I'm kind of shy too. I mean, I'm very sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Oh, the ants come out of their hills, and the worms come out of the ground, and the rats crawl out of their holes, and the pigs come out of the sty, and the bats come out of their belfry, and the blackbirds come out of the pie. Why? It's fun and easy to sit and watch the TV. Hope you like our show. Doesn't matter what you know. After all, it's just TV. 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 Gifted, young, broke, gifted.
So what you just saw there.
Fantastic animation by Steve. He did the entire video.
That is not true.
Oh. I didn't do it. I did none of it.
You were there. And you might have contributed some of the elements. how it worked out was Jonathan Delgado cut this thing. I remember going into a studio with Jonathan Delgado, Jonathan Delgado, who was our bass player for a spell with Pierre during the Pierre time.
That was probably the best lineup. We were the tightest we had ever been.
Well, we been doing it a while too. He was a professional video editor. Anyway, he had access to a studio, and I think we did that in a professional studio in his off time or something. Yeah.
And that's how
has all those fancy things and everything. And that was we presented that as a theme song video for the Young Gifted and Broke show.
But isn't that also how we met Ted Hope, who we did the Love Your City video? How did you meet Ted Hope? Anyway, we'll get into that next week.
I met Ted Hope being a PA. Because Ted Hope is in the movie business. Ted Hope is a big producer of independent type movies, and I met Ted Hope and worked with him on movies. And when we were in New Jersey and shot that video, or Love Your City, that ended up Love Your City. Remember that?
I loved it, and I still.
Okay, I had this job with Ted Hope. That was a movie set. Yeah, we were making a movie, and it was my job to guard the set overnight in this apartment in Jersey City. And so we decided to have a party in the place, and Ted came, and a few other people, and Maddie, and we started fooling around with Super 8 camera, and so that's the Love Your City video on our channel.
We could reach out to Ted Hope. There's a chance he wouldn't mind going back in time. I mean, it's really kind of time travel, especially just wanting to tell people that these connections with these people, we have these end products that mean something to us because it's also a time and a place.
Right. And we're the underground, Maddie. We're underground heroes. These people who have had all the success and everything, they look up to us.
They've lost touch.
We're the real ones.
They've lost touch with their indie roots.
Yeah, because we didn't kowtow to the system.
To the man.
Yeah, we didn't sell out,
Oh, Steve, you're such a witty, charming, dapper fellow. It's always been a pleasure to know you. Thank you for being one of my main collaborators in all of my bumblings. And I will see you next week. We're going to cook up something, huh?
You're kicking me off?
Look, it's 44 minutes.
45 minutes. That's what? That's 3/4 hour? 3/4 hour?
You see my logic?
That seems like a pretty good much amount of time. I'm kind of sick of myself after 3/4 hours, really. And
luckily I've been here to suffer with you.
We'll see you next week.
Bye, y'all. 10 a.m. Sunday, our time, New York City.
We appreciate y'all watching, and
most of them, they're not going to watch the whole thing, Steve. It's okay. Just like,
yes, they are.
Subscribe.
They are going to watch the whole thing, Maddie.
Oh, okay. I'm going to watch it.
Have faith. I'm playing with the buttons. Bye-bye.